Hi everyone, I'm Jen Seal. I want to welcome you here today to your mat and to the practice Nourish and Replenish. So for me, it's at the end of the week, and it's a nice way to just sort of give yourself a treat. It's gentle yoga pretty much, but so we're gonna, just be mindful of trying to stay in the present moment and really utilizing the breath in the postures to, help cleanse and detoxify just all the stuff from the week and start fresh going into the weekend new, right? That's sort of my plan. You can all do this anytime you would like, any day of the week. Good for waking up in the morning, which I'm doing it in the morning, but also good before you go to bed. So, all right. So to get started, I think we're just going to lay on our back today. And I'm going to suggest again, hopefully, if you've been working with me, or even if this is your first time, I recommend a few things. Blocks if you have them. If not, just something to elevate your hands. A strap today we will be using, so something similar to that would be a belt or a towel, which I have over there, a scarf or something of that nature. But if you have one of these, they're like $5 to get them. They're really super handy and they're so helpful, especially if you're super tight. And I also often recommend bringing a cushion. You might need that today, and a blanket. Now, we might not use all of these things today, but the blanket, I'm going to suggest get something like that. We're going to lay down and put it underneath our legs. So we got to be creative, right, when we're doing our practice at home. Because if we go to a yoga studio, they have all this great stuff. They've got the props, they've got the bolsters, they've got everything, super big blocks, right? So, but we've got stuff around the house. You can use a couch cushion. So I have my little cushion, and it literally is a nice decorative little pillow from my chair with the tassels and everything. And then I have just, one of these Mexican blankets, and I'm not sure if I can say that anymore, but a nice blanket with fringes. I'm going to place it like that. So it's just going to elevate my knees, and it's going to take a little bit of tension away from the lower back, which some people feel when they lay flat on their back. It's not always a happy place for people to be. So experience this today, and sometimes you might have to go forward a little bit to go back. So the knees are just lifted up off the mat a little bit. Then reach your arms over your head, and you can lift the heels up and maybe just point and flex the toes and rotate the wrists and the ankles. A nice deep breath in as you stretch nice and long, and then exhale, your hands down by your sides. Do it again, inhale. Just awakening the shoulders, exhale. And on this one, inhale, sweep the arms by your sides. We got lots of stuff here. Woo. And then take your hands up to the ceiling, press your palms together. And you're just gonna hinge your left to right. And this is just gonna, as you pull your fingertips up towards the ceiling, not only is it massaging your shoulders, but it's also allowing for the back of your body to open, so it's not squished. And then lay your hands down by your sides. So it can be by your sides, or if you'd rather, if you're still learning how to breathe more deeply into the body, into the belly, into the chest, then you can bring your hand to your, one hand to your belly button, the other hand to your heart. And then close the eyes and move the head a little side to side. Draw the chin gently just a little bit towards the chest to elongate the cervical spine. And then let all the breath go. Just try to soften in where you can. Soften the hips, the legs, all the way down to your feet. Soften the belly and your shoulders and your head. Just feel fully supported here. And we begin. And when you feel completely comfortable, just begin to draw the breath nice and sweetly and softly in through the nose, and feel that breath travel to that belly hand and rise up into the hand that's above the heart. And maybe you're going to feel it go all the way up into the upper chest. And allowing the breath just to naturally move back down to the spine. Let's just take 5 breaths here on our own, just noticing and observing, trying to release tension, let go of any residual stress from the week. And then you're going to feel your heart beating here. And if you do, notice just how your heart is beating today. One more nice breath. And let it go through the mouth. Good. And bend the knees. And bring your right knee and hug it into the chest. And you're welcome to extend the leg. Keep that long if that feels better. Or you can bend the knee. And just trying to draw that knee towards the right shoulder. So try not to let it flop outward. I want to try to stretch all parts of the outer hip. And sometimes if it's too tight, it's going to make us fan out a little bit. So we want to be mindful of that. You draw that leg down and bring the left knee in. So we're not trying to lift our butt up here. We're trying to keep your spine long. You might feel a nice stretch in the back, where your glutes and your hamstring meets as well. Feel free to rotate your ankle here. And take a nice deep breath in, and then use your feet to just push your stuff forward. Okay. Good. Nice and long again. One more time. And then exhale those knees and hug them into your chest. So both knees hug in side by side. If you clasp the fingers here. Get a nice long spine. Roll side to side for a little self-massage. Maybe taking some little circles here. And the face is soft and the jaw is soft. Okay. And try and make the breath soft as well. If you're rotating, rotate in the opposite direction. Yeah, just massaging the lower back. Right. Good. We're going to place the soles of the feet on the ground. And on the in-breath, we're going to lift up. Just a quick little bridge, pushing through the feet. And on the exhale, slowly come down and hug those knees back into the chest. This is the exhale. So let's just move with this a little bit. Find the breath. Inhaling, reaching up, arms reach back. Really fill up the lungs there. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, let's do 2 more. I'm liking 5s today. Exhale, sometimes it's 3. Today is 5. Don't know why. End of the week. And down one more time. Nice job. All right. One of my favorite things, and this week I've been dedicating to athletes. This is one of those things that I absolutely love to teach. And it's going to help you bring length to your legs. So if you're somebody who kind of gets a little off sometimes, like, a little uneven with your gait because of what you do, this can help. This can help. So you're going to take your strap, your tie, your belt, whatever you've got, a towel, and it could be a little towel, right? Just a little bit more of an extension for your hands. You're going to place it on the ball mound of your toes. So not in the arch. It's funny, sometimes I have to touch body parts to remember what it is. So. All right. And then just slowly, you can take both hands to pull it towards you, your thigh towards your belly, or you can relax your left hand and just use your right hand for support. So I'm feeling this sort of the back of my knee. I'm feeling it into my hamstring, into my glutes. You can slightly bend the knee if that's better for you. If it's too much of a strain on the back of the knee, remember, this is a nourishing flow where you're honoring every little part of your body. We're not here to, do a fast flow and sweat. That's not what today's about. Maybe draw a little bit closer, and option always is to extend the left leg. However, if you're kind of tight in hip flexor, your knee might look like this, which is okay. All right, so the body's slowly starting to realize that we're stretching. And if we let it go and then bring it back in, you might find you go a little bit deeper. So we'll just, again, do it, pulse a couple of times. Don't go to the extreme, right? I say 80%. Okay, go to 80% of the stretch, and then you'll know you're not going to like bust anything. Now, you're going to take your right elbow out to the side. As you do that, let the strap slip so that you can create a little shelf like that for your elbow, and then let that foot open up to the side. But keep this left hip, if you can, pressing down. So oftentimes in class, when I'm with students, I will come over and keep this hip. I will press their hip down so they can just, because otherwise it pops up like that and then you don't feel stretched. So try to keep that left thigh pressed firmly down and continue to draw the toes up towards, your head. And as I always say, notice what is stretching. It should be a pretty intense stretch for your inner thigh. We focus a lot on the hamstrings, right? But we need the inner thigh as much. So bring it back to center. Take the strap in your left hand. Slowly bring your left elbow down and allow the foot to come. Now, you can pause here and keep your left toes pointing up and then begin to bring it over until you feel a beautiful stretch in the outer, like right down where, I'm forgetting it right now, with the piriformis. I used to have piriformis syndrome and sciatica. This would be so juicy and helpful. And then when you're ready, take it into your twist. So you want to feel it first before you just plop over. You may or may not touch the floor. Now let's make it into your lower back. So this one we spend a little bit of time on because the body really needs to adjust to what you're doing. You're still breathing through it. Take one more breath here. Bend the knee and just slowly help it out. And now take the strap out, extend your right leg down, and just notice what you notice about that foot. Okay. I feel it tingling. It's a little bit more warm. My right hip is warm. So just something to notice. And then place the strap in your left, the ball mount of your left foot. So my knee is bent to begin with, right? I'm just experiencing or experimenting with what's going on there on the side. I happen to be able to see myself right now, so I can see that this side looks like it's tighter than the other for some reason. I'm going to extend my right leg, but it's optional. And then just do that little pulsing again. Sometimes as we come in and out, a little bit of trickery with the body. The body's going to protect you, and that's when it tenses up and it tells you that's far enough. That's far enough. But you do want to feel some intensity, just not pain. Okay. When you're ready, take that strap into your opposite hand, excuse me, into your left hand. Bring that left elbow down and open that leg up. Right hand is on your right hip. I enjoy this. I'm always curious if other people do. I think there's definitely people out there who do, but I definitely know this is not a favorite for a lot of folks. So if it's too intense, just back off a little bit. Slowly bend your knee, bring it back to center. Take that strap in your right hand, and like I said, push that right leg down, and slowly bring your foot to the right. Now I feel it right there. That's where I feel it. And then allow your body to come all the way down. So trying to keep that shoulder on the mat though, okay? That's sort of the, that's what I'm looking for. Those are the words today. a sign if your arm is hanging up, you've gone a little too far. General form, that's what I was looking for. The general form is shoulders on the mat. Bring it back to center. And release. And then reach those arms back. And I want you to just feel now, both sides. See if you feel like they might be even. Are you growing a little bit longer? We got one more pose here on the mat. So take a hold of your right wrist, and you're going to lift your head up and hinge over to the left side, and then replace your shoulders back on the mat and your head on the mat. And then walk your feet over to the left. Press your right hip down. So this is called, let me see if I can say this right. Banana pose, but it's like bananasana. Bananasana. Like, is that really a pose? It is. It's this. I always say, or put yourself in the crescent roll position. So whatever you'd like, a banana or a crescent roll. Lift up, replace your right hand to your left wrist. Shimmy over to your right side. Shoulders are on the mat. Head is on the mat. Walk your feet over to the right. And you can cross your legs too if you want, if that deepens the pose, but it's not necessary. Just sort of a really restorative way to get the side body to stretch out. And then back to center. Nice big long stretch. Exhale, hug the knees into your chest. And rolling up to your seat, you're coming onto your side body. And I'm going to turn toward the front of my mat. Off to the side. My blocks are nearby. All right, coming into tabletop pose. And here we're just going to move a little side to side. Even just a small little motion, right, is helping to lubricate the outer hips. And then move in little circles or big circles. The head, you don't have to be, urgently looking forward. Take it to the opposite direction. You can be looking down. Whatever feels good. If you want to pause here towards child's pose, if that feels nice for your spine, it's a good way to elongate the spine. Good. And then pause here in neutral tabletop pose. I want you to just look at your hands for a moment, and we want to make sure all of our hands, our fingers, pads are pressing down to the mat. You might even want to slightly turn your palm out just a little bit. It creates just a little bit more space for your wrists, right? We're going to move into cat-cow here. So finish your exhale here. And then on your next breath, lift up, chest, chin, belly drops. Pull the belly to your spine. So this is a great way to warm up your spine, to lengthen your spine, and also to feel how your breath moves with a motion. So maybe lingering at the top as you breathe in, and then exhale. So a little bit of retention breath here helps you elongate the breath so that you can bring more breath in. Let's do one more. And then exhale. Empty, empty, empty. Good, and then sink back towards child's pose. Child's pose traditionally needs part, okay? And take a block if you want to place it under your head. You can bring your knees together. It's totally, absolutely fine. There are many ways to do child's pose, so I want you to be most comfortable in your, child's pose. So it might be with your hands forward and your forearms down and your head on the mat. It could be with your head on the block. But you could also, if it's better for you, bring your hands behind you. Take a couple breaths into your back body. Know if you're comfortable. I'll just show you one other way. So besides knees together and folding forward, okay? You could do knees apart. Take your feet a little wider in the back and reach your hands between your knees. And just bring your head to a side. Might be accessible, it might not. It might feel good, it might not. So these are just options for you to try. If you're doing this with me, just lift your head up, turn your cheek to the other side, and just take 2 more nice deep breaths here. Slowly begin to rise. A little bit of a twist here. So threading the needle, bring your right arm up. And we're going to move this. So pulsing 5 times. Thread through. Reach it up. So our head might grace the mat, but we're not going to leave it there. So use your left arm to support you as you keep moving. That arm doesn't lift up. But do breathe with us. This is the in breath. This is the out breath. That was 5. Bring your hand down to the mat. Bring your left arm up. Inhale. Exhale. So my elbow's bending so I can get that arm through. So nice twisting on that exhale. 3 more. And 1 more. And back to tabletop pose. You're just going to step your right foot forward. Okay? Here's where I'm going to recommend maybe having those blocks. They're not necessary, but if you have them there, they might be helpful to help lift your belly up away from the thigh. We're just going to climb up onto this right knee. Okay. 2 layers of shirts on here. They're bunching up. Get deep into that left hip flexor. And if it's better for you to support yourself on the blocks, this is what it would look like. Chest lifts. And we're going to take it back. So again, just sort of feeling that stretch on the inner thigh now, right? That left thigh, front of the thigh, and then hinging back. This time when you come back, to make it a little bit more intense, you can draw the toes towards your shin. That's going to get into your calf and your Achilles. Let's do 2 more. And back. And forward lift. And back. And pause here. Right hip is moving back. Okay. You might want to pop forward. Good, and then bring that right knee back. Take the blocks off for a moment. Come forward. Keep your knees down. Maybe move them back, and then lower yourself down to the mat. Lift the toes up. Lift the thighs up so you can place the thighs on the mat. Toes down. Elbows hug in. Roll up to a baby cobra. Shimmy a little here. Move your chest forward. Elongate the front body and come back down. So again, we're going to do this 5 times. Slightly move your hands forward. So normally they come here when we lower down. Bring them a little bit closer forward. Okay. Lift up here. Exhale down. Each one getting a little longer. With the breath, lift from the back of your heart. So not with your hands first. If you want to feel what that lift feels like, lift your hands up off the mat, let them hover, and then lift, right? Then you can push your palms in. But that's the muscle engagement we want. 2 more. So hover if you want to just feel that. Strengthens the back. And down. Last one. And lower. Slide your hands in front of you and come to crocodile pose or sphinx pose. Feet can be together slightly apart. Your pelvis is pressing down, your elbows and your palms are pressing down, and you're pushing through the forearms. So you're kind of sticking your head out like a turtle out of a shell, okay? Chin towards chest, like you have a little orange there. You're holding on to. And this is just a gentle back bend. If it's too much though, walk your arms forward more or make them wider apart. Okay. If you want to get a little bit deeper, you feel like this, I feel nothing at all. You take your hands wider, okay, like wider than your mat, and peel yourself up here. I'm just keeping it low. Still extending forward and making sure you're not hunching the shoulders, okay? Draw them down. One more breath. So this, I feel like I get more freedom here. And I'm getting a little bit more flexibility in my back by doing that. Bring your hands to your mat, curl the toes under, lift up. And hinge back just for a moment to modify child's pose. This just means our toes are still curled under and our hands are plastered to the mat, and we're just trying to elongate the spine. Come up to tabletop pose, draw that left foot forward. Climbing on up, hinging forward. So feel it first, right? When I feel it, and we'll make sure we have enough space here that we know that this is opening, right? My running and cycling friends, or my friends who are super busy, you know, we get really tight in those hip flexors. If we don't stretch them out, they're going to shorten. It's going to shorten our range of motion. It's shorten just our stride. It's going to shorten the way you walk. Right? We want a fluid stride. We want fluidity in our cycling. We want fluidity in our hiking. So, and then draw it back. Inhale. You can lift the chest and maybe look up. Exhale. It's all about just sort of like, hey, what does my body want to do today? It wants to do this. It wants to do that. I'm telling you what to do, right? I'm just a guide. You can go deeper. You could stay in one pose and not move with me. I can't see you. It doesn't matter to me. Let's pulse one more time. And back. In these sort of moments of quietness and stillness, it's your breath that's still moving, right? So you can feel that and bring it right to the stretch. Good. Slowly come forward, walk out, come back again. Let's just lower down, roll up for one cobra pose, and back down. And curl the toes, modified child's pose. So that felt really good. Let's do it again. Come forward, bend the elbows towards the body. Gentle cobra. You might realize here that you're coming up even a little bit higher now. Up and back. Even as slow and more gentle as this is, you know we're doing 5, right? You're still building strength and endurance here. Don't let gentle yoga or mellow flow fool you. And here, with the breath as you move, it might be a little bit faster because you're moving. But you're moving with the breath. Each time we come down like that, we're pressing into our organs, right? Which is awesome. Good. Now just come into downward facing dog right from here. One little down dog. Pedal those feet. Maybe come up on the ball mounds of your toes and press down to your heels. Maybe bend one knee and press the opposite heel down. Rotate the ankles if you want. And lift your right leg up and bend it, fan it open. Really press those hips towards the side of the room. And place that right foot down, left leg left, same thing. Keep breathing if you can. Yogic breathing into the nose, out the nose, bring that left foot down, look forward and walk forward. Bring your hands to your shins, halfway lift. And bring those shoulders away from the ears. This pose is a really nice pose for your spine to elongate the spine. You can see my spine is nice and straight. So you've got a hunchy thing going on. Are you going to bend your knees and push the booty out? And stick the neck out again. Be a turtle today. And then fold. Take your feet outer hip width apart. And hang out ragdoll pose. Little inversion here. Again, just breathe into the brain. Breathe away the brain fog. Shake the head to make sure there's no tension there. You can maybe even clasp your hands together and put it behind your head and just gently draw the elbows in. We're not pulling. We're just creating awareness that our neckline is stretching. You want it to be softened. Then take your fingertips down. Slowly look forward. Bring your feet back towards each other. Bend the knees. Roll up. And inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so I want you to turn. So really not doing standing asana today, okay? But I want to take you into a forward bend, and from there, do some shifting left and right, some hip opening postures. Take your hands, clasp them together, and open up that chest. Squeeze the shoulders gently on the back, maybe lift the chin, look up and back. Slowly inchworm all the way down. Now, if those arms rinse over the head, that's great. If this is too much tension, you flip the palms, just place the hands on your lower back. If you prefer, you can bring your hands down to the mat. So maybe your shoulders enjoy having the hands clasped and bringing the arms overhead, but maybe you're feeling more of a stretch in the legs. Slowly look up. You're going to look towards your left foot and walk yourself over there. Okay. Turn towards high lunge pose. Bring your left hand inside of that left foot. Right knee down and soften the toes down. Walk the left toes out toward the left side of your mat to widen your stance here. And then it's up to you. Okay. Where you travel from here is totally up to you. Place your hands on the block and just rest your head. You can come down to intensify it, to deepen it, if you can get there. If the inner thigh is not okay with that. You can stay on one forearm and press that left knee open with your left hand. So to feel this as an inner thigh stretch, slowly lift up. A good transition to pigeon poses right here. So walk the left foot over towards your right wrist. Pull it in. Hands down. Here's an option for you today, you guys. I've been working with this, and this is something that works for me, especially if your left hip is off the mat. And this is really, really, really super intense, and my cat is like, knock over my, don't do it, cat. Pick a block or something, and a block would be better, something with some girth to it, right? And you place it underneath the right thigh. Now, if you don't have a block or anything, don't worry about it. Just above the knee joint, not on the knee, on the meaty part of your thigh. Okay, and my blanket is over there. I'm going to use my other block and put it underneath my left cheek, which is not completely on the mat. So you don't have open hips or you've got tightness going on, whole area here, you're going to probably need some props. And then you can hinge forward. Explore. If this feels weird, right? Again, if you feel pressure on your knee, move it a little bit farther forward. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're just here for a minute. So get as relaxed as you can. This is a very restorative pose. Intense. It's still an excellent pose. If you can, you can come all the way down onto your forearms or onto your hands. Use your hands as a pillow. You can even take it into a little threading the needle if you want. Just a bonus outer shoulder stretch, right? 15 more seconds. Good. And slowly come out of it. Take all your stuff out. Hinge forward, foot out, and three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Maybe take some hip circles here. So whatever you need to do, wag your foot side to side. You're just walking yourself, left foot up, spin, come back into that wide-legged stance, and turn over to the other side. Okay, so bending the back knee, both hands inside the right foot goes out slightly. Finding your stuff, finding your props. Maybe opening the knee, letting it fall outward so that you're on the knife edge of your right foot, then coming down. Hi. Nobody can see you, but you're cute. Let your head be heavy. So each of these held between 1 and 2 minutes. Recommended to get really, really deep in there. Deep into the fascia and things. The connective tissue is between 90 seconds and 5 minutes. So 1 to 2 is a good start. And slowly back to center. And set yourself up, walk that foot over to your left wrist. Draw your knee forward. Left foot goes back. Now if you're putting the block there, you got to curl your toe under and lift and put it right underneath the meaty part of your thigh, just above your knee. Hips are squared, so make sure that's happening. I'm going to put my other block underneath my right cheek because it's lifted now. And then this is your journey here. Travel all the way down or stay lifted. Just 1 minute. You really want to notice in this pose. In class, I can actually see tension in people's shoulders or their feet or their face, their wrists. So do a little body scan. Okay. Where can you stress less? Okay. Halfway there. Usually it's in the chest, in the shoulders. I see it. And so try to really stay loose there. And to have a clock in front of me too. You take one more nice deep breath. Right, we're folded forward so you can breathe into your back body. Breathe in big. And then slowly lift. We have to come out of pigeon pose very slowly. So curl the back toe under, move forward, knock this stuff out. Come into that three-legged dog and then open. You bounce it, rotate it, and come down onto your seat. And sitting forward, so one seated posture for us today. Do it again. Okay. So reach the arms up here. I want you to exhale towards your feet and then come right back up. Inhale and exhale. Again, 5 times in each direction. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Inhale and then exhale. Pause here. Chin the chest, press the thighs down. Intensifying it as toes towards shin. Or you can just let it be restorative, like just let your legs be the way they are. Don't engage them. And just feel it in the back. Back up. So again, instead of reaching forward and up, or up and forward, we're going to be reaching forward now and up. That's the exhale in the forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Nice and tall here. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take it wide. Last one before we come on the mat on the back. One little twist and then you're done. Go widen the legs. Move yourself if you can. Move the fleshy part of your butt away. Okay, so you can just come into those inner thighs. Right? Take a nice stretch here. Reach the arms up. We're just going to fold forward. If your toes are pointed up, and you don't want to try to have them dialed in, try as much as you can to keep the toes up. And blocks might be necessary here. Blocks, your blanket, your pillow might feel really good. Maybe you stack your fists on top of each other. Another few breaths. And just notice where you are today, and it's, again, flexibility is going to change based on your activities. It's interesting to make notations though. Right? Slowly lift up. Okay. I'm going to put my head down this way. Don't really need anything else at this point, but lay down and reach back. And if you can, push your right heel forward of the left and then do the opposite. So you're just sort of like moving the hips. Hip hiking. Almost done, kitty. Good, reach the arms back and then draw the knees into your chest. And take the knees. This is one of my favorite twists, supine twist. So bring the palms down, knees together, knees at a 90-degree angle, hinge to the right. Remember, you have your stuff. Your legs are open like a clamshell, put a block between it. That even feels nice. This is, again, one of those restorative poses that you can be in for a duration of time. That is really going to help open up this connective tissue that's deep inside. The sort of difference between yin and mellow or gentle flow, nourish and replenish, is that poses are held for about a minute or less. Bring it back to center. Whereas in yin, they're held for 90 seconds to 5 minutes. You can let them out, take it to the left side. You switch kitties. Okay. Bring the block on this side. You can look over your opposite shoulder. Is it? Right. And keep breathing. We breathe, we expand, and we exhale, we contract. And that's what's helping to flush out any toxicities. Slowly come back to center. Out, knees in, roll. Give yourself another massage here. Extend the feet forward. So if you wanted to do an inversion before leaving your mat today, you can certainly do that. One of them, good for anything. I think it's just, doing an inversion with legs up the wall is one of my favorites to always encourage people to do. In a 45 to so minute class, time really isn't allowed for that. Just close the eyes, get nice and still, and just gently observe how you're feeling. Just breathe naturally, normally here now. Your mind really starts to wander. You draw attention. Look up towards the center of your forehead with your eyes closed, and just notice what's there. Just keeps you focused on something. And the mind doesn't wander. Take 3 more breaths here. Just breathe deep in the breaths now, become aware that you're breathing. And move your fingers and toes, feet, your hands, your head side to side. Reach the arms back and draw those knees into your chest. One last time, give yourself a hug here. If you can't hug other people, you can hug yourself right now. Big breath in and roll over to your side. Up to your seat. Kitty, kitty. That one's my naughty one. Try to sit on the computer into a nice cross-legged position. And close the eyes. Bring your palms together to your heart. Round the chin to your chest. So ending your practice with gratitude, without judgment, and just know that what you receive from this practice is what you need. Right? We don't always get what we want, but we get what we need. So I hope this nourished and replenished your body today to get you set up for the weekend with a nice fresh perspective on this practice today, on the practice of yoga, on yourself and each other. And from the center of your forehead, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, namaste. Thanks for joining me here today. Have a lovely day.